Do you believe every glittering gift comes from clean hands? Stacy never asked that question until it was too late. To her, love had finally arrived, wrapped in leather seats, dripping with perfume, and shining like a diamond. But as you'll soon see, sometimes what glitters most is the deadliest trap of all. It was a bright morning, and Stacy was hurrying down the dusty roadside, clutching her books. She was late for class again. That's when it happened. A black SUV purred to a stop beside her. Tinted windows rolled down slowly, like a scene from a movie. Behind the wheel sat Brian, young, well-dressed, confident. His wrist gleamed with a gold watch. "Hey, need a ride? I'm heading your way." Stacy froze. Her mother's voice echoed in her mind. Never take lifts from strangers. But then she glanced at the time, the SUV, the easy smile on his lips. I guess. Thank you." She slipped inside, inhaling the scent of expensive cologne and fresh leather seats. Brian chuckled. "You look nervous. Don't worry, I don't bite." The car glided through the streets. He asked about her school, her dreams, her favorite music. He laughed easily, his words smooth like butter. By the time they reached her campus gates, Stacy was smiling. "Maybe I'll see you again?" he asked. Her heart fluttered. Maybe. That one ride turned into many. Brian began waiting for her at the gates. Soon he was texting, calling, inviting her out. The first date was a rooftop restaurant, the kind Stacy had only seen on Instagram. Candlelight flickered against the skyline. A violinist played softly in the background. Stacy's jaw dropped. "This place is... wow." Brian smiled, sliding a glass of sparkling juice toward her. "Only the best for my queen." From then on, the gifts poured in. New shoes, designer bags, perfume in bottles shaped like diamonds. Her friends gasped in envy. "Girl, he's young, rich, and fine. You've won the lottery." And Stacy believed them. Each time Brian leaned across the table, gazing into her eyes, she told herself, "This is love. This is forever." One night after dinner, Brian leaned closer, his voice deep. "Babe, why are you still struggling in that tiny hostel? Come live with me. My mansion has more space than I can use." Stacy hesitated. "What about my parents? My friends?" Brian held her hand. "Do you want to waste time explaining to people who don't understand us? Or do you want to wake up every day like the queen you are?" A week later, Stacy moved into the sprawling mansion. Marble floors, a pool that sparkled under the moonlight, closets full of clothes she had never dreamed of affording. Every morning, Brian dropped her off at school in his SUV. Heads turned. Whispers followed her. Look at Stacy, living the dream. And Stacy? She glowed, convinced she had finally found the man every woman prayed for. But dreams don't last forever. Stacy began noticing cracks, late-night phone calls, conversations whispered behind closed doors. Once, she overheard him muttering, "Make the transfer." "No, they won't suspect a thing. Just send the details." Her heart thudded. Brian? What was that about? He slipped his phone into his pocket, kissing her forehead. "Business, babe. Just business. Don't stress yourself." Another time, a man showed up at the mansion's gate, shouting, "You scammed me, Brian. Give me my money back." Brian brushed it off with a laugh. Crazy people, jealous of my success. Stacy wanted to believe him, but doubt gnawed at her. Then came the test that changed everything. Positive. When she told Brian, he lifted her in his arms. "That's my queen. Now we're a family. I'll give you and our baby the world." And for a moment, Stacy's fears melted. She imagined their child running through the mansion halls, a perfect life built on love and wealth. But the universe had other plans. One evening, as she was preparing dinner, Flashing lights flooded the driveway. Sirens wailed. Police cars screeched to a halt. Officers stormed in, shouting commands. "Freeze! Hands where we can see them!" Stacy dropped the spoon in shock. Brian tried to run, but they pinned him to the ground, handcuffs clinking around his wrists. Fraud, con artistry, millions stolen from innocent victims. The mansion seized, the SUV gone, the glittering gifts evidence of crime. Stacy stood frozen, her hands instinctively clutching her growing belly. The world around her crumbled. The news spread like wildfire. Stacy's prince wasn't a prince. He was a thief. Her friend's envy turned to whispers of pity. And Stacy? She sat in her empty hostel room again, holding her stomach, tears streaming down her face. If only she had asked questions. If only she had paused. If only she had looked past the glitter. Now, she was left with nothing but regrets, and a child who would forever remind her of the man behind the mask. A child who would one day ask, "Mom, who was my father?"